Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another new edition of today's Youth. And today you will be meeting here live at the studio by Nada Fekry. She's a tour guide, she's a writer, and she's a CEO of her own startup working on artificial intelligence. She will be telling us more about her experience in life, in tour guiding, in tourism. Thank you very much for joining us, Nada.
Well, thank you for having me.
Nada, to start with, you've been studying and lived for a while in Kazakhstan,
Yes.
and then and Saudi Arabia also, and then you moved to Egypt. So living in two different cultures or three different cultures, how did this affect you?
Well, I was born and raised in Saudi Arabia. I studied there till high school. I finished my high school there, and then I moved back to Egypt. After graduating from college here in Egypt, I traveled to Kazakhstan with my parents. There I worked in different fields. The thing about the cultures is Saudi Arabia is it was at my time, I was only with my family. I didn't have interaction with the outer world that much, except my school, if I'm going like a gathering with my friends or relatives. And then when I came back to Egypt, Egypt is more open, more vibrant, there's more life. You feel like that you could move around freely, kind of, if I can put it correctly. And then when I moved to Kazakhstan, it was a huge difference because the first thing, the temperature. Egypt is considered hot, and Saudi Arabia, the warm weather. In Kazakhstan, it was minus 45 and 48 when I traveled, and I was like shocked with the temperature, and then I was shocked by how the culture, because I didn't know that they have lots of connections with the Arabs. Mm-hmm. Lots of their places there are named with an Arabic name. Mm-hmm. So it was interesting to get to know them and get to know where they come from, how they started. Their capital city was actually my age. So yeah. It was exactly my age, and I was surprised how they reached and became one of the biggest petroleum countries.
Right. Tell me more about your experience in writing scenarios, writing stories. You have a passion for writing.
Exactly.
So tell me about this experience.
I started writing when I was in the sophomore year in college. I wrote for an English magazine here in Egypt. I loved doing interviews, follow-ups, and then I loved creating poems. Creating stories that is a bit fictional, but it has a twist that it relates to the life or how we're living the daily life for every day, what we do. And then I created a story that was published, and I got very positive feedback from lots of my friends, along with known people that is involved in my family.
Right, and then I also have your own startup working on developing an application or a platform working on artificial intelligence like ChatGPT and others. Tell me the role of this platform or this application. How will it work, and what is your goal developing this new application?
My platform, we were creating this platform to help the developers, to help the artists, to help the writers, not replace, because there is a misunderstanding that AI is going to rule the world and replace all jobs, and we will be the helpers of the robotic part. But that's not true, actually. What is that we empower people using the AI. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you feel like you're blocked, like a writer block. You need some drafts, you need some ideas. You have a lot of mixed up ideas that you need to write it down, and someone tells you, oh, you can write that, and you can write that. It helps us in our daily life, and it also helps us at work life. So imagine having like a genie that grants you wishes, that you can write them, that I need this and this and that, and can you help me with this and that? And then it helps you, it creates a draft that could put you on the right track to do so. Along with designs, along with drawings. Sometimes you draw like a painting, water painting, and you want to see it literal to life. Mm-hmm. So what you do is you put it on the application, and you can create a different variation for it, and you can see your work coming to life. AI is not going to rule the world. It's not going to replace people, but it's going to replace people who are not using AI. It's here to, what we're trying to do is empower people with it, empower artists, empower students that can help you with your research instead of going there and there and there and there. It's important to interact with the normal life, but it's also important that we get the chance to explore more. We have the research, we can do the research more through AI.
Right. Well, Nada, as you just said that this new application and other similar applications will not replace human beings. I mean, it will not create an unemployment problem, in your opinion. I mean, but it did affect unemployment in some places around the world. I mean, we've seen that happening during the past several years, that computers and applications are taking places of human beings and creating unemployment problems in some parts of the world.
That's true. I wouldn't disagree with the whole statement. What I will say is that artificial intelligence or technology was built by humans. If humans stop feeding technology and the AI, it's not going to grow. It's not like a human. It doesn't evolve. It needs a human figure to evolve. So this is why it's not going to take control, because you are in control. What we do is the mindset. The problem is the mindset. So if you put your mind that it's going to replace you, then it's going to replace you. The thing is, it's something that needs a human figure all the time. So if you stop feeding it, it's not going to grow and it's not going to replace. But how you're going to use it and fine-tune it to your needs, this is the part that is important.
Right. We're going to go to a short break and we'll be right back to talk more about artificial intelligence, AI, as it is, has its impact. Of course, around the world, people fears that it will create unemployment problems in some parts of the world, in some jobs. We will be talking more about that after the short break. Yes, Nada Fekry, she is a tour guide, she is a writer, and as I said at the beginning, she also has her own startup. Talking about AI or artificial intelligence, Nada, tell me more about the success of artificial intelligence here in Egypt, and how do you see the pros and cons of artificial intelligence?
Well, in Egypt it was a bit of a struggle at first, because everyone was scared. Oh, it's something new, it's going to replace, oh my God, what I'm going to do, is this going to affect me as an individual? And then the companies were really scared. At the moment, there is a awareness campaigns a lot about the AI, how it could help you scale with your business. Instead of, if you have like a funding problem or a money problem to your company and you cannot hire 3, you can hire 1 AI agent that can help you and help your team scale. Whether in coding, whether in writing, you can have expert pots. And these all are parts that could create scalability to your company. And this could help you to increase your productivity, it could help you save time, and it could provide extra time for you to save, to develop your team and yourself as well. Right,
and also you have a very unique experience as a tour guide. Tell me more about this experience and how did it add to you on the personal level?
Being a tour guide actually got me the chance to meet different cultures and different people, different mindsets, and it made you see the world in a different eye. How you could change, how you could see the world around you, how people are seeing you. Your culture, our culture actually is very, very, very rich. And lots of people envy us for the Egyptian culture, ancient Egyptian culture. So for us having the part and the privilege to present our culture, this part is very, it could be, you could say it's a dream, that we are honored and we have the right to talk about our culture here in Egypt.
Right, we also have some photos for you here, I think related also to being a tour guide and tourism and so on. Would you like to comment on those?
Yes, this actually was for our AI campaign for my startup, and it was one of the successful events that we attended here in Egypt.
Okay.
It was very well organized, and it was very interesting how lots of people has the same passion and interested in technology, and how they understand the real reason for technology.
And this one?
This was me in Kazakhstan. At that time, I think I was near Nur Sultan. It was a mosque there, and I was there on a tour with my mom at that time. This is the traditional clothes for the statue that I'm inside. This is the traditional clothes for Kazakhstan, male Kazakhstan figures. It's kind of presented as a gift for the people that you like. So it's a traditional clothes. This was a presentation for my CEO, for my startup as well, about my company, the AI company. Okay. This is Kazakhstan. This is a museum that has some of the ancient Egyptian artifacts as well, and it had the pyramid shape.
Yeah, it looks like the pyramids.
Yes, it was very interesting. They had even in front of it the waterfall, like the Nile. So they had the presentation of the ancient Egyptian look and feel for this museum.
Yeah.
This is the Opera House in Kazakhstan as well. This is Kyrgyzstan.
Okay.
Borders between Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. I was there for an interview with the embassy there, Egyptian embassy. This was in Alexandria. It was also a technology summit. This was actually the day we launched our new project. It was very successful.
Right, next. Okay. That was the last one. You also told me that you have a passion for traveling. Tell me, which countries did you visit, and which are the most interesting to you?
I've been to China, a place called there Urumqi. It was exquisite experience in China, but it wasn't easy because of the culture and different dialects that they speak there. I've been as well to Kazakhstan. For me, it's my favorite. Saudi Arabia I consider it a second home because I was born there. As for my upcoming traveling, most probably I'll be going to South Korea at the end of the year, because I'm into Asian culture. I love Asian culture.
Asian culture, yeah.
Yes.
You learned the Korean also. You told me that you were a tour guide in the Korean language.
Yes, English and Korean language. I've learned the Korean language actually first year I learned it by myself through the internet. And then I joined the Korean Culture Center here in Egypt. I love how they present their culture. I love how they are interested in us learning their culture, and they facilitate all kinds of opportunities for students and fresh grads to learn the language and work with it.
How did this new language, Korean, help you in your career?
Well, as a tour guide, it helped me gaining more job opportunities as a tour guide, and friends as well. I was able to work as a translator for a part of my time as a
Korean English,
Korean English, Arabic.
Arabic, okay.
Yes, Korean English, Arabic. We have lots of investors.
And vice versa.
Exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
We have lots of investors here in Egypt that are Koreans. So I was able to help them. I will be a facilitator, a language facilitator with the people visiting us.
Right now, we're going to go to a short break, and we'll be right back to talk more about your passion for writing and creating scenarios.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome back, and back to you, Nada. We were talking also about your passion for writing, creating your own scenarios, and this is a very important hobby. Up till now, you're not yet a professional. Tell me more about this hobby.
Well, I love, like I said, writing very much. I love writing poems, stories. I love doing articles with people, learning about their experience. I like fictional rom-com, but mostly fictional and thriller. I like to write different scenarios or different actually stories that are related to daily life. It feels normal to talk about it, and to feel it could be related to anyone who reads it. So this is what I'm working on, that I could go professional with it, and I could see some of my work live one day, hopefully.
Right. Another, what's a message that you would like to deliver to the youth from your place here?
Well, oh, okay. What I want to say is, nothing is impossible. It's never too late to start or have a career shift. I have tried different careers. Until now, I still I love what I do, but I still am searching for the thing that it will state, this is me. This is Nada, this is who I am. So never give up. It's never, most people that were successful writers, they started at the age of 40-something, 50-something, so it's never too late. Don't say that I don't know what to do, you have to try.
When there is a will, there's a way.
That's exactly.
Right, thank you very much, Nada Fekry, tour guide, writer, and also a CEO of a private, it's not a company actually, it's a startup. All the best of luck to you.
Thank you for having me.
Dear viewers, that brings us to the end of this edition of today's Youth. Many thanks for watching, and don't forget to join us next week, same time. Till then, goodbye.